Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the match reaction. Everton 1, Brighton 1 at Goodison today. A frustrating result in the end. I can't honestly sit here and say that Everton deserved to win. Brighton had all the ball, as we knew they would. And it's about results. But having said that, we were 1-0 up and a cross hits Ashley Young and goes in, and it's so frustrating. And then we have one cleared off the line in the last minute or so. Really frustrating afternoon in the end, because those moments are there to be taken, aren't they? And we didn't take it. And they're a good side, don't get me wrong. They had no threat up front bar Matoma today. Everything was played in front of us. You could see that by the shots they had on target. I think it's recorded as 2. I don't know whether they're including the goal in that, but it was the only one of any note was Lewis Dunk, which was a brilliant free kick in the second half that Pickford saved. We had to make a change before the game. Amadou Onana missing with a slight calf strain, which was a big blow for Everton. He's been instrumental lately in how we've been playing. Idrissa Gana Gay came into the side and had a good game in all fairness, but we did miss Onana in there as well. And Everton, we started quite lively really. We had a Abdoulaye Doucouré shot, which he hit, I hate saying this, he hit it too well, almost, and Verbruggen kept it out. But we did take the lead not long after. A good breaking again, good play from Mykolenko, winning the ball on the halfway line. It went wide, Dwight McNeil crossed it, deflected Mykolenko, good first time strike, it was a good save. Come back to him and he hit it with his right foot this time, on target. It hit Lewis Dunk and went beyond the keeper to give Everton the lead. And you just looked at Brighton at the back and they are shaky. They're a very good football inside. They knock it round really well, but they are, very poor at the back in terms of giving away opportunities. They play risky football, which is, their fans I'm sure love it, but you do sense an opportunity there. And I think for me, Everton just didn't really pounce on those opportunities. A couple of times we got in and made the wrong decision. We had the run from Dominic Calvert-Lewin, which he done brilliantly and worked his way across the box, but there was a pass on either side. He eventually went at it with his left foot. There was another run which resulted in a yellow card for Lewis Dunk, with a foul on the edge of the box, and that was the opportunity to really hit the target, and James Garner's put it over. And there was a couple of times Jack Harrison ghosted in off the right hand side and could have threaded players in either side and didn't. And it is those big moments, because against good sides like Brighton, you're not going to have the ball as much, and we just didn't make the most of that. We had a big penalty appeal turned away by the referee. It looked a stonewall penalty to me. However, someone who's seen it, they think it's outside the box. So if that's the case, then fair enough. But I don't know how the referee, Tim Robinson, who was absolutely diabolical, by the way, all day, I don't know how he didn't give Everton a free kick. It was a clear foul on Dwight McNeil, and he waved it on, and there was so many of those moments. Like the Brighton fans were singing 1-0 to the referee at one stage. The fact they were still in a game was because of the referee at times, some of the tackles and some of his decision making. But he was equally, there was a couple where I thought Brighton should have had a free kick and he let play go on. There was one on Lewis Dunk in the first half where he got pulled down for me, and Everton ended up breaking down the other end, and we got a corner from it. But to me, it was a foul on Dunk. So he was just equally poor for both sides, if truth be told. We got to half time 1-0. They'd had all the ball in the first half, don't get me wrong, but we'd been a threat up until about half an hour gone, and then we just started retreating even further and further back to the edge of our box. And they, like I said before, they didn't cause us any moments where you were worried that they'd score, but they had all the ball. And when you've got a player like Evan Ferguson or you've got Matoma, then you've always got to be wary that they can just, certainly Matoma can make something out of nothing, and Ferguson's a good goal scorer. We came out for the second half, and it was more of the same. We were just sat on the edge of our box, and when we'd get the ball, we'd just give it away, and it was so frustrating the second half because our counter-attacks were few and far between, and that to me wasn't good enough. Our players put the shift in, there's no doubt about it. We had a big opportunity with Dwight McNeil on the edge of the box. He's got to hit the target for me, and he put it wide. Too many times we were just hoping Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Well, I don't know what we were hoping, because he wins most headers and yet no one ran beyond him. And that was really frustrating. I don't know what the tactic was there. Brighton had, I didn't even mention it before, did I? Brighton had a goal disallowed in the first half by VAR. It was a brilliant volley from Lewis Dunk, but it was poor from us, just letting him run in behind. But he volleyed it in off the underside of the bar, and it was obviously ruled offside. Must have been a tight one. We got that. But the second half, they just had all of the ball, and you are worried that how do you contain a team when they've got the ball for so much of the game, and when you get it, you just hurriedly give it back, and you're hoping then to get a corner or a set piece. That isn't how I want Everton to play, I'll be honest. I know a lot of people will be pleased with that. We battled, and I'm pleased with that. We're nice and compact, and I'm pleased with that. But we have to carry more of a threat. We have to be better with the ball than we are. And I've said this all along, and I won't change my tune. You won't convince me that these players can't play better football than they're playing. I think it's utter nonsense. And we have to be better with it. And that's the next thing they have to work on. But they did work the socks off. I think the manager has got it wrong as it's gone on. Or the coaching staff, they're all a team. It's not just Sean Dyche. There's Ian Woan and Steve Stone watching that game as well. And Ashley Young was blowing through his arse after about 65 minutes and should have been dragged off. And Jack Harrison was struggling as well. Now, I get he might not wanted to put Dan Juma on the right because he might have thought he doesn't work hard enough, and Dobbin isn't going to happen. But Nathan Patterson should have been on for Young. Certainly when it got to 20 minutes, 15 minutes left, Matoma had a couple of runs that he just hadn't got right, but he was knocking it past Young, and Young was out the game. And the manager sat on his hands, and it's, ultimately come back to bite us on the arse. We had tired legs everywhere. Midfield was an issue because basically with Onana being out, there was nobody on the bench who could have really come in and sat in the midfield for us. Gomez isn't there, and Dele's not there. They're our only other choices in midfield. So that wasn't going to happen. And so there was a few running on empty. Brighton had made 3 or 4 changes. They were fresh, but Matoma was still the big threat, and the manager didn't make the change that he should have, and lo and behold, Matoma gets too much space on the wing. Young's too far away from him. By the time he tries to get over, Matoma fires it across. It hits Young, loops over Pickford's head and drops in, and it's 1-1. And I'll be honest, at that stage, I felt Brighton may well go on and win it, because we just looked dead on our feet, and obviously that knocked everyone, the stuffing out of everyone. Ironically, we then had 2 big opportunities to win the match. We got a corner. The corner's come over from Dwight McNeil. Tarkowski's headed it back. The ball's been cleared off the line. It breaks, and we have another opportunity to smuggle it in, and we don't. And it's cleared. And then we have another opportunity, which a ball comes across. Tarkowski heads it back, and Decore's in front of the keeper. And any nick on it from Decore, and we've won the game. And he doesn't. And it runs through to Bart Verbruggen in their goal. And that was it. It ends 1-1. Like I said, I can sit here disappointed because we were winning with so little time left. I can't sit here and genuinely say Everton deserved to win the game. I can't say Brighton deserved to win it either, because they offered nothing in the final third, really, in terms of creating opportunities. It's a point. We took 4 out the last 6. We're on a good little run. We go to Palace next week, and that's very winnable, so let's hope we can do something there. Man of the match today, I am gonna give... I thought Idrissa Gana Gueye was excellent all day, really. But I'm gonna give it to Mikalenko for defending well against the Dringer, or Andy Gray, as Graham called him when he got subbed. So I'm going to give it to Mikalenko. Scored a vital goal and defended really well, so he's getting it. That's it from me. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. See you later.